Welcome to the First 40 Sports Show with the Goon Squad. It's Black Thor, Ice Water, and yours truly, Puma. Let's go to hot takes. Black, what's your hot take this week?
I don't know if you guys noticed this a bit, but when I saw this, I had to kind of expand it. You know, you read stuff on your phone, you kind of sometimes you got to make it bigger. Le'Veon Bell says he's making a comeback. He's making a comeback. There's only one team. Not he ain't talking to no one else. He's gonna tell them no. Don't ask him. There's only one team to come back he's gonna play for. Your thoughts?
Ice, I just saw this. Ice.
What do you mean, Pittsburgh? He come back to Pittsburgh?
That's what he said.
Look, man. Hey, I don't know. I don't know what he's been doing, what he's been up to. I will say this though. For as much as I want to say that I don't know why he's coming back, this is the NFL, and somebody, some team, somewhere might just take a flyer on him. I mean, maybe I wouldn't say the Steelers, I'm just joking, but somebody will probably take a flyer on him because they're desperate for running backs. I mean, that's what you want. You know, we say how the running back doesn't matter anymore, but it actually does when you start looking at real football. You need a really solid running back along with whatever you're doing. So, is it far-fetched? Yes. Will it happen? Probably.
All of us say weed is a hell of a drug. He's probably running out of weed money.
Thank you.
The money, and he's trying Pittsburgh. Let's get this whole thing back. You know, they don't want you, Otis. They don't want. I mean, NFL don't want running backs no more. They ain't gonna pay you the top dollar anymore. So they only recognize running backs in the playoffs when they need a running game. But during the season, NFL they made it very clear they do not respect running backs. They're not gonna pay running backs. It's a pass league. It's a Mahomes and all the quarterback league. But like I said, marijuana is a hell of a drug. And then when I saw this, that's the first thing I thought. Black.
Yeah, he doesn't have any more marijuana there. Plus, his money's low. And you know what's really kicking him in the ass right now? That year he sat out. What did he miss, like 20-some million that year? That's got to be killing him right now mentally. So that brother's low on funds. He's low on weed. You know what? I'll start training in March and go back and play for the Steelers. Man, somebody to catch this brother say, you know what? Nah, bro. Nah.
It's over, bro. You had your
yes.
Hey, man, look, all it takes is a 35-yard run to the house. I'm trying to tell you, bro. I ain't saying he's going to come back, but, you know, you say weed is powerful, and it's also legal now in most places. So, what?
But think about it.
You gotta have the money to buy it, though, man.
Yeah, you got a chance to play for the world champs, and you screwed that up. I mean, you had a chance. You had a chance to play with Kansas City. You had chances to play with other teams. Now you want to go back to the team that bounced you and said, you know what, you were too much trouble. Now we're gonna bring you back and ruin the culture. They're trying to. No.
I don't know if you remember, he was with the Jets. He was with the Jets. This cat was at a bowling alley instead of coming to practice. Not showing up, man. This is like, I mean, Levy, that's so much against Le'Veon Bell. It's like, they got Antonio Brown got a better chance to come back to first with the final.
Oh my God.
He got a better chance.
No way. No. Hey, let me say something real quick on this. Man, look, you say that about Le'Veon Bell, but different stuff happens, man. People look at different crazy things, and you sit there going like, there's no way. But then again, it could. You say Antonio Brown?
Yes, sir.
Man.
Yes, sir. If he can still take a top off of defense, there will be a team out there. I see a team out there hiring Antonio Brown first before Le'Veon Bell. But like Puma said, there's so many young running backs out here now, bro. Especially this year coming out the crop running back. You can find a running back anywhere, USFL, anywhere for cheap. He's not. I don't see it.
Ice, what's your hot take, man?
So let's talk about the hirings and firings and things of this nature, right, in the NFL. So my question is, were you guys surprised, and this is not really my bigger question, maybe I'll get the second one, that Dan Quinn got hired by the Washington Commanders?
Black?
No, not really. Because I look at that organization, they're going for a name. They're not going for substance, man. When the coach that they wanted basically dogged them out, Ben Johnson dogged them out. He came out and basically said, there are a bunch of basketball guys trying to run an NFL organization, don't know what they're doing. So that says a lot, man. it says a lot. Now, the owner, I think, if I'm not mistaken, he owns a hockey team. So you got Magic Johnson. I'm happy he's in that position, and the owner that does know what they're doing. And if you look at some of the moves they made throughout the season, what I am a little surprised at is that the head coach, new head coach, is basically kicking out homeboy, what's his name, from KC coordinator, and bringing in what's the name. I'm a little surprised at that right there.
Bieniemy, yeah.
Yeah, he's letting Bieniemy go. And it's like, it seemed like Bieniemy just can't get no love anywhere, bro. I know they say people say he's a rough guy to work with, but just think about this for a second. If KC doesn't bring him back, and they may not, where's he going to be next year?
Yeah, I was surprised and I wasn't, and it just seems like the Commanders don't know what they're doing, and they just are saying we're gonna block out what everybody else said about this guy, that he gives up leads. We're gonna block out what Dallas defense did in the last game. We're just gonna block that out, give him a new slate. He knows how to run a team. So who else could do this? But I don't think too many people wanted to go to the Washington Commanders because they realized that that team doesn't really know what it is doing. And I feel sorry for the Commanders fans because they deserve a good football team. You're a rival to the Dallas Cowboys, and now you're just going to be a laughingstock every time they see you on the schedule. So you know you get what you deserve, and if you don't know what you're doing, and you're going against the grain to get a coach that is known to really kind of just mess up in real big games, then you get what you get. It's almost like a Doc Rivers, what's happening with the Milwaukee Bucks right now. You get what you get, and this is what you're going to get, and then you're going to be the laughing stock. I thought, for a minute there when they hired him, I'm like, is Dan Snyder still the owner of the Commanders? Because this is a Dan Snyder move. So, yeah, man, your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I was surprised. And then it got even more bizarre for me when now they're saying that Cliff Kingsbury is going to be the offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And then it went on, and I'm looking there and I'm like, okay. And then I said, well, all right, then what's next? And I'm like, then they talked about drafting the quarterback from North Carolina.
Yeah.
Mayor. And I mean, you probably know more about him than I do.
Yeah.
But it just kept going on and on. And I stopped for a minute. I was like, and I thought about Daniel Snyder. But then I said to myself, damn, is this the Bears? Because this is what the Bears do.
Yeah.
I'm like, or have done prior to Justin Fields getting. I was like, is this the Bears? And I was like, oh no, it's not Chicago. But wow.
I think Caleb Williams is from the area.
Yeah.
And it's almost like here they're saying that it's setting up where Caleb Williams will be a Washington Commander instead of a Chicago Bear, and they're working out a deal so that can happen, because he definitely doesn't want to come play here in Chicago. They're still playing around with Justin Fields, whether they keep him. I mean, they're going to keep this soap opera going up until the draft to keep the Bears in people's mouths and people's thoughts. But it seems like they're bringing Kingsbury there. He's a quarterback coach. He coached Caleb Williams, and it's almost like they're setting up the scene where Caleb goes to the Washington Commanders.
Well, let me just say this, and I hear all that, but I mean, this is why I love the media, where we can kind of debate this and throw stuff out there. I mean, you're in Chicago, so maybe because it came from Chicago, maybe it's right. But I'm gonna throw your conspiracy theory on there, like you like to. I'm gonna throw a twist on there from the standpoint of when you look at Chicago, saying that you had one of the so-called major media moguls that came out and said Caleb Williams said he don't want to do that, and his folks was like, we didn't say we don't want to come to Chicago.
Right.
We didn't say that. So I think it's kind of, I don't know, man. I think Caleb Williams, as much as you want to play for a great team, there's no guarantee that he's going to do well with the situation in Washington. And Chicago wants him bad. So, it's neither how you want to go about it. I think he really wants to be the number one pick. I think he really wants to do that. And he wants to show the world what he can do. And 1 and 2 does make a difference, because you number one pick, Heisman Trophy winner. I don't know, as much as they say he's from the area, DC, the DMV, I still think you want to show everybody what time it is. I don't think it's like that, because it'd be different if you're going to a team that you thought was going to win. That ain't the case.
Super Bowl is coming up this weekend, and I'm gonna go to you, Ice, first. Get your thoughts and who you got in the Super Bowl and why.
Man, I've been looking at this and I've been thinking, and my mind say one thing, my heart say another, and the reality starts to come out. I think based on, and I'm gonna do this like how you like to do it, Puma. Sometimes I'm gonna do this. The stats say, and the everything that the performance says that uh San Francisco has the ability to win this game, right? They got the talent. They got the offensive players. Defense when they show up, they got that. Everybody wants to make it like it's Brock Purdy's game to lose. I don't believe that. I think if they come in and let him be a manager, they can win some games. And McCaffrey, really, what you gonna do there? Kansas City on the flip side is like the defense showed up last couple of weeks, but you don't really know. And it's always been about Mahomes. And even though y'all wanted to throw dirt on old boy because he was kicking it with his girlfriend strong. I wanted to throw dirt on the tight end. Tight end showed y'all. Don't play me cheap. We got some people on here that said that, but I ain't gonna say no names. But don't play me cheap because he stepped up when he needed to. I'll say this. I think San Francisco can win the game if they play the way that they're supposed to. But the problem I have, and I've been saying this forever and ever and ever, that damn Magic Mahomes, boy, somebody, when it get tight, and the reason why I don't think they win this game is because those wide receivers of Kansas City start dropping that damn ball. I think he went in the locker room, like I told y'all before. I think he cut some folks out, told them, you better catch the damn ball, so they woke up. But if you start dropping the ball and they start covering your tight end, I think San Francisco is can win the game. So with that being said, you asked me for a pick. I'm gonna upset the apple cart. I think San Francisco gonna win. I think McCaffrey wanted that damn bad. I really do. I mean, I know Mahomes is Mahomes. I'm going against you, dog. You know I love you. But I think McCaffrey, they want that so bad, and you got to finally get off the schneid right. And your boy Shanahan got to get that asterisk off his name, bro.
Black, turn it over to you, man. Who you got? Why?
I'm gonna start with San Fran, man. It's something. I mean, I believe they wanted to. It's somewhat of destiny for them, but something about this coach, man. He's a little snake bitten, just a little snake bitten. If you look at their run through the playoffs, it hasn't been without they had to kind of fight to get there. And to me, you're going up against a defense now is just prime, man. And their cornerbacks, like they said the last game with Kansas City, they don't give up the big yardage, bro. They don't give up much yak yardage. They kind of stay to you. So I'm looking at this defense, and even furthermore, look at the defensive coordinator, Kansas City Chiefs. It's hard to beat this man. No one talks about it. It's hard to beat him. Like I said the previous show, he's taken down Brady. He took down Lamar. And what he does is he forces you to do things that you and I, everybody talk about Belichick doing this, but he puts together a scheme to force you to do some things you really don't want to do. Things that you've been doing well, you're trying to do other things, and he's taking those away so easily. So I don't see Purdy, and I'm knocking him. I think he's a good quarterback. I don't see that offense basically generating enough to handle that defense. And sometimes we go back to the old adage, defense win championships, bro. And I remember the first game that, the first Super Bowl, Mahomes played. My son and I was watching the game. They gave the MVP to Mahomes. He was not the MVP of that Super Bowl, in my opinion. He stunk that game up, man, to the fourth quarter. And really, the running back was, I think it was McClare. I can't think of his name right now. He still plays in 25. He was the MVP, but you always going to favor the quarterback. So I think with that being said, man, that defense is so tough. And then you go in, as they call him, Magic Mahomes, whatever. Put Mahomes in there, and he come up with special plays. Tough to beat, man. They just tough to get rid of. It's like an odor that you keep spraying. When you think you got it, pops up somewhere else, man. But Pat, man, get your father in the Uber and get him off the road, man, because and he's got to understand, man. Your son is getting ready to play another big game. It's like, what you doing out there drinking and driving? That's embarrassing. Embarrassing. Not that's going to have an impact on Mahomes, but come on, man. Now you control your father, but his father should do better than
that. Dude, where you grow up at, bro?
That's not about growing up, man. I mean, seriously speaking, that's embarrassing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give you a quick thing, real quick, man. Because I remember when I got married, my father-in-law, it wasn't my father back then. My father-in-law, when I said my father, put it down, bro. Put it down. So the ex-wife at the time, she was worried, he's gonna show up drunk. Nah. For those several hours, he let nothing touch his lip. He didn't want to embarrass his daughter. And what he did afterwards is his business. But he knew for that time. And all I'm saying is, man, this week where your son is really out there, why are you out there and embarrassing him? I mean, why are you out there doing something? And don't get me wrong, he raised back well. I'm not knocking him, but this is his third one. It's not his first. It's third one. Bro, you got to be smarter than that. That's what I'm saying. As a
but
dad.
you said it's Super Bowl week, but you know, I'm gonna be good from Thursday on. I'm just saying, right? Trying to be funny. I'm just being honest, bro. I mean, maybe I'm warped, and I'm cool with that. Maybe I came from the wrong damn background. I'll roll with that all day long. But I'm not surprised. Is it sad? Yes. But when I hear it's like, damn, that's Uncle Jed, Uncle Jess. Uncle Jess at it again. You know Uncle Jess gonna do that.
But that's where Uncle Jed has to police himself in a sense. And you have the means where you can hire somebody to help you out in that situation. You know, Puma, you sent out a picture the other day of a cat for the Raiders who's out there speeding, drinking, driving. What is he doing right now?
Yeah, $2.
No, I agree with that. So, but here's my thing. And granted, you can't police who you can't police, right? But my thing is though, and y'all can say what y'all want to. I just say, look, Mahomes, bruh, for real. You already know your daddy. You know what's going on. Just get him a driver, bruh. You know what he gonna do.
But let me just say this: that's easier said than done for a son to do. And put me on what I'm talking about. You know, can you go tell your father I'm gonna get you? You ain't gonna get me a. You know what I mean?
Hey,
that's a fight among itself. Let's get real.
True. But hey, you already know too. Depending on where you grew up with, daddy, look, hey, we had to cut you off with that coin. That might that whole thing changed up a little bit too with that coin.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. I'm sure we all three gonna have DWIs. I'll be the first one to speak. That's not gonna happen. So I'm saying after the first one, you gotta wise up. But here again, what's going on with your son for these next 2 weeks, bro? After the game, you just gotta be smarter. You gotta be smarter than. I'm not saying you shouldn't be drinking, but how you out there getting, basically, bro, I can't.
Hey, let me throw one last thing in there, bro. I mean, and I promise I'm gonna be quiet, bro. Having personally dealt with some situations like this, I'm just gonna keep it 100. Is sometimes, and I'm not saying that he's way out there. I don't know. He said this is third time, whatever. But I'm gonna say sometimes, as a son, as a child, when you know how things are kind of off the chain or whatever, and you in that moment, and you know there's a likelihood this is gonna happen. Sometimes all you can do, bro, is try to do everything you can to limit the damn damage. Limit the damage. And whatever that is, you try to limit it. I'm telling you, come home, people coming in, whatever they doing coming in, hitting your neighbor's car 5 damn days in a row, just slamming it. And the neighbor's like, and you go, what the, you know, you shake your head, there's nothing you can do. So you like, all right, I already know, set it up the way you can. Sometimes it's unfortunate. And people are like, well, you making an excuse. I'm not. I'm just saying.
No, I'm not. And I know we got to move on. But I look at when you're saying this, I'm thinking about because I saw a video of him and he's sitting next to his mom, Wilder, like LeBron's mom. You couldn't find him else to play with. Your son is out here basically building, and you know what I mean. And as a parent, that's all I'm saying. As a parent, you got to put, you got to put your child in front of your own needs, your desires, your own wants sometimes, bro. And these parents, some of these parents with their kids are found to be better than who they were, they forget about it. In my opinion.
Last question, last comment for me if I can.
Yeah.
You're right. I'm gonna say, sounds good.
Yeah, every situation is different, and and we know how that can be. You know, we all know how that can be. Sometimes you'll never grow up to your parent. Never.
Dad, I'm gonna get you. You ain't get me no.
I'm gonna give you my prediction, and I think if Kansas City can commit to a running game, because I think that's a soft spot for the San Francisco defense with Pacheco, the angriest runner in the NFL right now. They may have a shot. They can commit to it, but I don't think they can commit to it the whole game, especially if they're starting to play from behind. Some of those receivers start dropping those balls. I don't think it can happen, but I just think San Francisco has so many weapons on offense that who are you going to? I mean, you can't shut down everybody. You got so many weapons on offense. If one of those guys were out, like McCaffrey or number 19, I would say, you know what, it may not be in the cards for them, but they got so many weapons on that offense, and Purdy is like a kid in a candy store. He can get to all those weapons. So I think it will be a high scoring affair, but I think San Francisco has a lot of weapons, and I think either an interception or a drop pass will end Kansas City's run for a Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with San Francisco 49ers. And there's some other reasons why I'm going for the San Francisco 49ers, but I don't want to
I want to say, man.
make
Magnet,
the
magnet,
Swifties mad because I'm
magnet,
really tired of seeing her. I'm not part of Magnum. I'm really tired of seeing her in the press box. I'm really
magnets.
yeah, magnets. Let's go. Enough. Let's go to the NBA eye test. Ice, let's give you a quick eye test on the NBA. You got 1-3 Doc Rivers with the Milwaukee Bucks. They're 5 games out, 5-5 in the last 10. Embiid is out. They're 5-5 in the last 10. It may be curtains for the 76ers. They don't know when he's coming back in the West. The Thunder is still tied with the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves, they continue to play good basketball. They're boneheads sometimes in certain games, but they continue to play good basketball. And the Clippers, regular season heroes, we'll see what they do in the playoffs. I'm not impressed with what they're doing right now. Ice.
Got to be impressed with Boston, man. Boston's still doing what they are doing in the East. Very impressed by that. Milwaukee's not going anywhere. As you said, second place, they 5-5 back. And then in the third place, it's Cleveland, 5.5. If I'm them, I'm not trying to be funny. It might be sound funny, but I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna tell what was it, Garland and what's the other center that's not has not been back yet. I'm gonna say, look, man, y'all just stay out, stay injured. Because right now we're running. When you come back, it's gonna mess up the chemistry. It always happens. So Cleveland's playing really well. Sounds like a Mitchell wants to try to halfway play a little bit too. I don't know. I'm gonna say kudos to the New York Knicks. Y'all came up short against the Lakers. Y'all look good too. I think they're a regular season team. We know what happens in the playoffs, but y'all not by yourselves as well with their Philadelphia. What y'all gonna do now? You almost out of chips, baby. Your boy down, your guys down. What you gonna do? Moving up to the West. OKC, I love them. They just keep playing real strong. Even heard some rumors about them trying to trade the trouble guard maybe because he don't fit anymore in there. That was very amazing to me as well. Minnesota's playing real well. We'll see what happens there. But again, say what you want to, get the Clippers. They love right now. Give them the Clippers. They right in the third slot. Denver's in the fourth. Sacramento's in the fifth. Phoenix, despite all that controversy, man, they in sixth. That's crazy. Anyway.
Like I'm noticing the trend here in Chicago with Levine. Every time the trading deadline comes around, he always finds himself on the IR. Always. This is like the 4th or 5th year that I've seen this. He gets hurt, so he can't be traded anywhere else. It seemed like they want to get rid of him. They're talking about getting rid of DeRozan and getting him somewhere because they're looking at a rebuild. Ball is out, because of the knee surgery. This is the 3rd year, but I see a trend here.
Yeah, it's definitely a trend. I mean, I don't think anybody really wants him because of that contract, bro. Every year his name pops up whether he gets hurt or not, and no one makes moves. Even when the trade deadline is over, you don't hear like, well, this team was after him. They tried, couldn't get that. His name just pops up, and I think the media props his name up because they feel, for the most part, he doesn't want to be there. And to me, the Chicago Bulls is like a lost franchise, bro. Who talks about them? Who watches them? Realistically, I mean, I'm sure the average fan, they see them, they go right past them. I'm not paying attention. I'm being honest. Unless you're a diehard Chicago Bulls fan, that's no disrespect to the Chicago Bulls fans. But to me, sometimes I forget they still exist as a franchise. That's being honest, bro. So they really do need to do what they got to do to basically build that up and start it over again because it's not happening. I know they booed the old general manager. I have no problem with that. That's cool. To me, when I look at the eye test, man, all this is cool. You got Minnesota and all that. I'm just gonna close my eyes and go, who do I trust? Do I trust Minnesota? Do I trust the Clippers? No. Do I trust Denver? Hell yes. I trust them. I trust my eyes open, bro. I'm right there, man. It's just like, so to me, it's going to be a lot of jockeying. There's some good basketball being played. But I do question now in the NBA, man, this high scoring stuff. But what defense is being displayed anymore? And that's what boggles my mind when Milwaukee wanted to fire this head coach. So he doesn't play good defense. Who's playing good defense? Nobody plays good defense. You got scores 140. And I'm being honest too, man. I'm tired. I know Steph was 60 that I saw and you lost, bro. I'm tired of seeing that. I mean, and they're all 70 points, 80 points. So what? I'm tired of seeing it. There was a college woman basketball player, Juju, knocked down 55, if I'm not mistaken, 53
It was like
yesterday.
51.
I find that to be,
Yeah.
yes, I find that to be impressive. You're an NBA basketball player, so what? You know, nobody playing defense against you anyway. Win the game. That's how about we do that, Golden State. Win the game. Goes, you know, so again, my eyes open. I see Denver. I want to watch. I'm going to enjoy watching the fall of Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to
Those of
enjoy
you like
watching.
those of you like to bet on the NBA, when the Lakers are playing on Saturday night, prime time, always bet on the Lakers. They are not going to let the Lakers lose. I don't care who they play. Prime time. If LeBron is playing, they're going to win that game. Hook or crook. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm just glad they got off.
Four,
They traded
five,
him. He wants
whatever.
to be traded. I'm just glad they got away. That's crazy. I don't want that talk about LeBron. Let
Yeah.
LeBron go on off the seat, man. Stop it.
In the
Nobody
Knicks,
wants
please stay away. Don't even entertain LeBron. No,
Mhm.
no, we don't want it. We don't want it. Let's go to NCAA basketball. Ice Black said he watched college basketball this weekend. I'm gonna go to him first because there were some great games. I had a feeling that North Carolina was gonna drop a game against Georgia Tech. Looking forward to playing Duke. Saw the game. Went back and saw the game against Duke and North Carolina and Kansas, Houston. There were some big primetime games. Tennessee and Kentucky. But Black, give me your eye test, man.
Like I said to you, man, you don't want me watching college basketball. And you all really don't. But I'm not watching the Pac-12 and all that stuff out there. But I'm watching college basketball anyway. I mean, I saw some good games played. I'm still, and I said to you this, even though UConn is where they are, and I love where they are, and I'm happy for them. I'm just not sold on them yet. I mean, they're a good team, and they're number one. I'm still kind of trying to figure out what Purdue is doing over there, but I did like what Kansas did to Houston. And I texted to you, gentlemen, Houston's overrated. We see this every year, bro. They're kind of they're out there. They're going to beat you up a little bit, but are they going to really win close games when it's time to? I don't think so. I wasn't impressed with Kentucky. I really wasn't watching a little bit. Tennessee's not a bad basketball team. I really wasn't impressed with them. I like North Carolina. I did like North Carolina. I don't think Duke is bad. I'm not sure should be. I kind of was surprised that they didn't drop out the top 10 this week when they lost, but I think they want to keep Duke hanging around. Not saying they're a bad basketball team. I think they're coached pretty well too, but I like what North Carolina is doing. I do like what they're doing. I like their grittiness. I just think that when Babcock, I think that's his name, goes to the bench, they lose a little bit. They need a little better backup for him. But outside that, I think they're a tough squad.
Yeah, I kind of think their three-point shooting kind of keeps them in close games and crucial times. Not three-point shooting just throwing them up, but in crucial times they're able to hit those, and that's the difference I see in this particular team. Ice, your eye testament.
Yeah, wow. North Carolina over Duke. I was surprised that Duke didn't show up at all, really. North Carolina probably played one of their better games of the year. Kudos to them. But the question is, are they going to be able to sustain that throughout as we get closer down in the season in the second half? The other thing really that got me, caught my attention was the factor, the way that Kansas just subdued Houston. You got to think about this. I think Houston was the favorite. Kansas was a dog at home, right? They held Houston to like, I think it was 36% shooting. 36%. That wasn't even from the free throw line. That was from the field. 36%. And Houston is known for their defense and whatnot. And I think Kansas shot close to almost between 60 and 70%. They were on fire. And of course, we saw what they might have laid the blueprint or to lay it out there as to how you can beat Houston. And they did it very impressively. So that game alone, I'm sitting there going like, oof, how do you get that done and move forward? But there's still a lot of uncertainty there. Kentucky lost and everybody pointing fingers to this and that. I still think it's wide open. I cannot wait for it to start. We can go and get some normalcy back around here the way it should be.
Yeah, some teams that are moving up in the top 25 is South Carolina. They weren't even ranked last week. They're ranked number 15. Baylor jumps up. Iowa State drops down, but you got Illinois, who was 14 last week, took a stumble, came back. They're ranked number 10. Duke number 9. Arizona number 8. Marquette number 7. Tennessee 6. Houston right behind Kansas number 4. North Carolina, Purdue, and UConn. Let's go to the women's top 10, and South Carolina is still cruising along, but Iowa moved up to the number 2 spot, followed by North Carolina State, Colorado, Ohio State, Stanford, Texas, Kansas, UCLA, and USC. Juju Watkins, drops 51 as a freshman. I told you in the spotlight earlier, she is one to watch, and she's going to be fun to watch when they get to tournament time. Any thoughts, Ice?
Yeah, I mean that's amazing right there. You think about it, she scored 51 to 67, right? And they played Stanford. Stanford only scored 58 points. Stanford #4 in the country. Stanford came right back though and beat UCLA, which is very impressive as well. So we got some real good games going on. The other thing I was interested in is the factor that Texas over Kansas State. Kansas State really just kind of got up there and got close to their ranking, and then they got popped. So it's wide open. I mean, some people are still wishing that Connecticut is going to come on around somewhere, but I think this is going to be great because I think as great as South Carolina is, whom I know you the biggest cheerleader right now for them, I think that it's a lot of teams that's really willing to put it out there. Everybody's focused now. South Carolina, Iowa, right? Everybody all excited. Caden Clark, #1 score. Okay, you came to Columbus, you got popped. And you almost got popped before again. I think some of these teams are really going to be fired up and play against some of these better teams or these top ranked teams. And we might see a few upsets in the tournament. I'm looking forward to it.
Black?
Yeah, I'm with the upsets, man. I think we're going to definitely see that with women's college basketball. I'm just going to throw one name out there, man. They've been, bounced around, had their problems, had some drama going on in the locker room, everywhere else. But LSU, I'm just don't write them off, bro. Don't write them off. They tell you that coach can coach. When those young ladies get their head on right, and you know what they're gonna be gunning for, bro. Most of these teams ain't gonna say it. A lot of these teams ain't gonna say it, but everybody's gonna be looking to take Caitlin down. That's her name. I said it correctly. Iowa's gonna go down, but they're gonna be looking to take her down. We know what they're thinking. They may not say it in the press conference what they're feeling, but they want to give her some good home cooking. So it's gonna be interesting to see.
Last second shot, Ice.
Yeah, my last second shot is I was gonna be going a different way, but I'll wait till next week because it's the last. But Doc Rivers. How Doc Rivers the East All-Star game coach? I mean, isn't there like a rule where you have to coach so many games? I mean, the record's horrible right now. He just got over there and then he's automatically said, well, I'm gonna give my game check and I'm gonna give the trophy once we win over to the former coach. What? How is he even allowed to do that? You need to say how to say, okay, instead of doing that, granted they won, why not go to the second best team, right? Whatever team that is, and however they decide, whatever, the second ranked team that had the better record, their coach should be the coach, not Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers been, sitting on the sideline giving crazy commentary about the game. So how you just get the coach like that? Something wrong with it. If I was the coach of a team of, the team that had a good coach, I'd be like, how you get that? You don't deserve that. Just call the damn exhibition for what it is, but that don't seem right to me.
Right.
It's interesting. I was watching an MGM brand commercial with Jamie Foxx yesterday, and usually I don't pay attention, but I saw on the bottom of the screen, if you live in this state, they have these initials of different states. You have a gambling problem, call this number. I'm saying to myself, nobody's calling that number. Brothers, be aware that they're really coming for your money, man. They're coming for your money hard, not simple, hard. And a lot of you guys are in situations where you can't afford to be throwing away disposable income. Keep that in mind. All these fan dues on these other companies, they're set up to take your cash, bro. They're not set up to make you millionaires and make you rich. They're set up to take your money. It's just like the NFL. They don't care about you.
All right, I got two quick ones. Coach Harbaugh for the Chargers. Put Kaepernick in that quarterback room. That's all I'm gonna say about that. And the Pro Bowl. I've been saying this for years. Just having an award ceremony, man. And nobody want to try to watch. Nobody's watching that stuff. I didn't even know you were on, to be honest with you. Just have an award ceremony. Have some dancers, women twerking, all that stuff. You know what the young people like. Just have, what you got, Doja Cat, all that stuff. Do that. Do an award ceremony, man. Just do an award ceremony. Ain't nobody wants to see no old NFL players out there in flag football, Peyton on his knees because he lost the game in the last few seconds. Nobody cares about that anymore. It's become a farce. It used to look forward to the Pro Bowl. Now it's like it's a joke. Just have an award ceremony, hand out awards, hand out certificates, and be done with it. I'm done. We'll see you next week. And I'm gonna have a rant next week about this too again.
Kaepernick? Kaepernick?
Wow.
Just when I think you can't top yourself.